All right, we're live.
Awesome.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of our crypto discussion. We'll be looking at a few stuffs that has been happening in the market today, but we'll start with a brief look into the news, if we have any exciting news in the market before we jump right into activities of most projects and how they've been performing so far. Well, I think one of the most exciting things in the market today is the fact that we've seen a bounce in the market. Yeah, we've actually seen a bounce in the market. Then when we talk about the tariff news that has been affecting the market, both the stocks market and the crypto market, at least Trump has called a truce. And there's now a mutual respect between Trump and the president of China. So, and we do know that these two countries have like huge control over the market, not just the stock market, but also the crypto market, because they have like huge volume. And if you look at the most of the founders, they have either a Chinese background or they are based in America or they are citizens. Yeah, and these countries they do lots of funding too, especially the US. So they tend to control the market a lot. Yeah, so I think
You were saying there's a bounce in the market. I want to know which side that the bounce is because Bitcoin's price hasn't really. I think last time I checked was 101 or so.
yeah,
So the only thing good that is like happening in this market is the fact that we are still seeing what's it called privacy coins move, which is Zcash. Zcash is still moving, which is great because yesterday we spoke of Dusk, and Dusk has
yeah,
actually still made almost like 100% from yesterday to today. So which is good because people are entering into privacy coins. People are calling it low key alt season because it's quite funny that people bought Bitcoin, right? And
yeah.
Bitcoin started tanking, right? So people took out their money maybe buy gold or buy some other alt, maybe to go back and buy alt because alt have dumped more than Bitcoin, only
Yeah.
for privacy coins, old tokens to now start pumping. So it's like, guy, what is happening in this market? You bought an OG coin, the OG coin is dumping, you sell OG coin to get into maybe newer coins that maybe dumped more than the OG coin, only for those coins not to pump, and the coins that are pumping are older OG coins like privacy, maybe Dash, Dusk, Zcash, Decreed, and the rest. And it's quite funny, but I don't know. Maybe we might start. We are getting the preview of an alt market or something else. But for me, the market hasn't really bounced. Just that we are getting some relief pumps from alts. And to be honest, I'm kind of excited about it. If only that would be very much sustained. Because today you pointed, there's this coin you talked about when sent me a
Yeah, yeah,
message this morning.
yeah. I'll soon share my screen. So what I think is I sincerely feel we are about to experience an odd season because I have been expecting Bitcoin to dump below 105, which that has happened, and most importantly for it to stay below 105 because Bitcoin dominance was still on the high side, still around 60% or so. We need it to correct gradually to like 55%, maybe even less. Or at least it should get to like 56%. But to be amazing if it drops below 56% to maybe 50% or thereabout, then we would see like a huge, insane alt rally because capital would flow, interest would flow from BTC to alt. And Ethereum might not even necessarily benefit from it because Ethereum has had its own fair share of the pump. I think from second, third quarter of this year, Ethereum pumped from below 2K to almost 5K, yes, which is quite huge when you look at the FTV of Ethereum. Yeah, that's over
Mm-hmm.
$100 billion added to the FTV of Ethereum. BNB has also had a very, very good bump. get almost about 100 billion to add it to BNB. Ripple, the same thing. So we have some coins that have done like they have actually experienced a fair share of this supposed bull market that we are in, and we have lots that haven't. Like so many solid projects. For we'll look at some of them, but briefly, like Near has never even pumped an inch, and Near is a fantastic project that they are also pivoting into lots of AI stuff. Near has not moved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also expecting like Near to start gradually picking up momentum, break above $3 zone, and maybe head towards $6, $7 or thereabouts. We've seen ICP, Internet Computer, which has been on a downtrend for so long, consolidating for a very long period. It has also broken out. I think it has done almost 100% in about the last 4 days or thereabouts. And we're still seeing more. So that's why I say it's actually alt season that we are in right now, but it's gradually it will pick up momentum. And most times this alt season doesn't last so long. So briefly, let me just share my screen. Let me share my screen briefly. All right, so I'm looking at my screen now. BTC is still at 101K. Ethereum is still relatively at the same price. I'm not really interested in all of this. Now let's look at like the top gainers. I think 2 days ago, earlier this week, I said something about how to see if a new trend is forming. So now if you notice, you find out that storage coins have been doing so well for the past
Yeah,
48 hours now. Storage projects, like since yesterday morning, you could see storage coins started picking up. We saw our wave.
because
Our wave took up to about $4, and
yeah,
overnight till today bumped an extra about 50%. This is our wave,
I
which our,
saw this guy. What was his name? The founder of Tron. That's
yeah,
Justin Sun. He was talking
yeah,
about BitTorrent being the
yeah,
storage for AI. So no, these guys they always want to ride on trend, bring
yeah,
focus
yeah,
to maybe projects that they own. So
yeah,
uh, and I've actually pointed. I showed you that AO, which is AO computer. It has actually been maintaining a price
yeah,
of $5, even while all these things are dumping. It's like it wants to pump, but something is holding it back.
yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe we might get a storage pump. Maybe it might spill over to AO because we really need AO to pump because these are like tokens that we've been holding. But at the same time, it's like there is this shift to older tokens, right? Whether it be storage, AI, privacy, or just basically just a coin. I don't know if it's a trend that will usher in the altcoin. I don't really know.
Well, for me, I think I like to keep things very, very simple. So for me, the privacy coins have been pumping for a while, which some good profits have been made. Privacy coins are still pumping because of Zcash. Zcash is still leading the trend. We look at the chart briefly. It's currently at about 620 something dollars now, but we'll get to privacy coins briefly. But there's a new trend that has confirmed itself, and it's the storage. So we started with AR. We saw AR yesterday morning. It was around $4, and the volume has been consistently climbing. So from yesterday to today, it did almost under 50%. So we can see this week alone, AR has done almost 64, which is a project that our community is holding. We recommended it for the community. And Filecoin, I'm not really holding Filecoin. Yes, I'm holding AR. Filecoin, I'm not. But you can see Filecoin. Filecoin rarely moves. For it to have done
Yeah,
60% in the last 24 hours, that will tell you that we are actually in that storage coin pump. But the thing is, we don't have lots of storage, good storage projects. So I'll share like a few before we get towards the end. I'll share a few that I'm looking at. But obviously, yes, I'm holding an AR. Maybe another one that people might want to look into, which I'm very much holding, is ARIO. Briefly, let me just ARIO. Now, this hasn't pumped at all, and this is a massive storage project. They haven't moved an inch.
but
That's been
but
on a
the, but the thing with
continuous downward
the thing
trend.
with ARIO, you have to get ARIO on the AO blockchain,
No,
right?
no,
It's
no,
not on
no,
exchanges yet.
no. No, it's on gate.io. It's actually on
That's on only
gate.io.
Gate now.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
only
only
Gate.
on
Okay.
Gate. Yeah, it's on gate.io. So I strongly believe this is one of the most undervalued, legit storage protocol or project that actually has a solid use case utility and has users, projects using it. So ARIO is good. It's at 2.6 M market cap and 5 point something MDB. Now, another very solid storage project that is also in my portfolio is Warus on storage protocol there. It hasn't moved an inch. I'm surprised that it hasn't moved too. But it's very, very huge and it's actually on the C ecosystem, currently at around 300M market cap. So for me, I keep things very simple. These are like just the storage projects I'm looking at and that I'm also holding. Then if we look at privacy coins, just briefly on privacy coins, Dusk, which is one of the privacy coins we looked into yesterday, we did say yesterday that expect Dusk to do like a very, very good pump based on the chart had flattened out. This is Dusk. Yesterday, when we were talking about Dusk, it was still around 58, 0.58. That's where Dusk was around yesterday when we are talking about it. And when we shared it to the community, it was approximately at 0.05. That's done 100%. In my opinion, it's still undervalued, very undervalued in my opinion, still at 42M. But there's a strategy that we always advise our community to stick to. Once you're 100% up, take out your capital and you can leave the profits to keep running. Yet it's safer that way, especially in a market that is highly volatile. You don't know which direction it's going to swing to. ICPC, I'm not holding ICPC, I'm not really a fan of it, but it's been moving. So this also aligns with what you were saying about some old project. ICPC is a project that's been around for a very long time. Metis
Yeah.
is also moving, not really a
Yeah,
fan of
there's a lot
Metis.
of what's it called, information or announcements coming out from Metis. So I know I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
be bullish on the
Swing.
Metis ecosystem, yeah, but there's a lot of chains now to
Well,
worry about.
Metis is fond of one thing. If there's something that I know that Metis is fond of, and for those persons that don't know, you can go check it out. There's something that Metis is really, really fond of doing. They love to pump towards the tail end of a bull run. They just love to. The first time that Metis broke out and ran to almost $300 was 2021, around October, November, December. Took off from less than $1 and it pumped to above $200. And I've noticed that most
Hmm.
times that's when they like to pump. I think last year they ran to almost $60 the year before last, something like that. So sometimes you can just study the patterns that these alts use to start their rally. Now, once you can get that and you notice the move, because these guys are very intentional, they can save all the good stuffs, all the hype towards that time, and they start releasing it gradually and start generating that hype, that traction. And before you know, Metis can easily run to like $33 or thereabouts. It's possible, but as of now, I don't have any exposure to Metis. It's a good buy, if you ask me. It's actually a good buy. Now, still looking at privacy coins, Zcash. I don't know why most times I call Zcash Dash. I don't know why. So Zcash, for example, yesterday, what I was saying yesterday is I expect yesterday it was at $500 when we were speaking. I said I expect it to pump to like 700, 750 before I see like a form of correction. Because we also looked at the charts yesterday. Let me briefly drop the charts that we looked at for Zcash. Just briefly, let me share that chart. Just the exact chart we were looking at yesterday. All right. I don't know if you can see my chart, the Zcash chart. Can you see it?
Yeah,
You
it's
can see
up.
it. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Now, if we look at this Zcash chart, which I drew up yesterday, and I think I zoomed out to about the weekly charts, 1 week. Now, there was something I was explaining yesterday about Zcash. which I said something, which I'll still repeat today, that it's a price discovery right now. Immediately broke out of this zone, 370, started price discovery. Because despite the fact that in 2016, between 2016 and 2018, I think, after Zcash was launched, it pumped to over $1,000. Then before dumping, I was now playing between 150 and 300, most part of 2018. Despite that, for most exchanges, their chart, if you roll back their chart, they don't have any record of when Zcash pumped all the way to over $1,000. So for most exchanges, Zcash has just been consolidating for the longest period of time. When they saw it to the highest pump was last bull run. So now it's presumably on price discovery, which is why it has been running aggressively. So for me, I just feel once it gets to around, like I said yesterday, 700, 750, I would expect to see some persons start taking profits. Now, why I also said that 700, 750 is because when you look at, I'll have to stop this screen share. When you look at coin market cap or CoinGecko for Zcash, let me briefly share that too. If you look at coin market cap and CoinGecko on Zcash, you can see my screen now, yeah?
No, not yet.
All right, is it
I think
visible now?
no, it's not.
Okay, I think it's visible now. All right. Now, when you look at coin market cap and CoinGecko, and you look at how much it has run this year,
The screen is not actually visible, it's blank.
Are you sure? From my end, it's visible.
It's actually blank, just blank, dark stuff.
Okay, is it visible now?
Nope, it's not.
Okay, can someone from the live viewers tell me, just a comment if it's visible or not? Because from my end, it's actually visible. No, you're
It's
still saying the
blank.
same thing, that it's blank. Okay, but what I was trying to explain, still, since it's still blank, though I don't know why it's blank. What I was trying to explain was actually quite simple. If you look at Zcash performance, okay, they are saying it's not visible. Okay, let me just leave that for now. Maybe I'll still try it again. Let me just stop the screen share and briefly try it again. Let me know when it's visible, please, because I just shared the screen again. Is it visible now?
No, it's not.
Okay, I don't know why it's blank though. I can't tell. Okay. How about now?
There's nothing showing. Maybe we'll have to look into it later. So let's just. Okay,
Still
now
not
it's showing. I can see your CoinGecko now.
Okay. I think it was just StreamYard minor issue. All right. So what I was trying to explain is this: when you look at how much this has been pumping, now this is when you max out. When you come here and you max out, it's majorly on CoinGecko and maybe one or two OG exchanges that you can see like the full Zcash chart. So when you come to this CoinGecko and you max out, you find out that it was somewhere around 2018 that it got up to 880, which is that range I'm speculating 750 zone. That was when it got to that price. Now, mentally, there will be most persons that bought around this zone and they are still holding. And most of them will be looking at offloading here. Now, that aside, there will be some traders too that would be waiting for this level, because since I said it's on price discovery, they're waiting for it to get to this zone of 880, 850 so that they can offload, because they are expecting some form of resistance. Now, but the real OG traders that love to anticipate these things, they will not even wait for this 800 because they know that there will be lots of sell orders there. So if they see 700, from 700 max 750, they will start offloading to buy back around 450, 500 when it corrects, which if you do the math, that's almost buying back. If you sell at 700, 750 and buying back around 500, 450, that's you buying back at almost 40% discount. We're buying back at almost 40% discount. So that's why I said most persons will be looking to offload there. And I'm expecting it to rally till 700, 750, which we are almost there. If you check from when I said that day before yesterday, and I still repeated it yesterday, we have almost moved from 400 to almost 700. So for most persons holding Zcash, you might want to start calculating when to take profit. Now, by the way, CoinGecko is lagging. CoinGecko price doesn't update fast enough. Right now, Zcash is at 660. Like right now, it's at 660 on TradingView. It's at 660 on Binance. It's at 660. Like right now. So these are like some of the things you want to pay attention to. Now, some other thing. Wow, it's almost 10:20. Okay, we'll soon be rounding up. It's almost 10:20. I don't know if you have something to share before I round up. Do you have anything to share before I drop some other projects?
Well, it's just for people that are looking for like airdrops. You might have to check out Polkadot because Polkadot made an announcement. Polkadot is one of those old chains that have a lot of resources. So they made an announcement about a new product that they will be launching, which is kind of verifying that you're human, right? Instead of doing KYC, but verifying that you're human, and they are giving out tokens for that. So people that want to farm airdrops, I think they say like is it $2,500 per month, about $140 weekly or so. So you might want to go to Polkadot's what's it called, Twitter page. So because they tweeted that a few minutes ago, probably like 30 minutes ago. So go check that out and see if it's something that you're interested in, because they are talking about sort of basically sort of computer networks and having human networks and all that stuff. Because I'm beginning to think that these days blockchains, like all these OG blockchains, they are pivoting into Internet of Things, economy of things, right? Connectivity and all that stuff. That's like where they are pushing towards. And also, we got news about XRP raising an additional $500 million, which is crazy. which is crazy. $500 million. It's so, and then the price hasn't actually reacted to this news. If you check XRP's price. So for the XRP army if you have XRP or if you're interested in XRP, you might want to maybe hold on to your bags or get some exposure, because we've seen what XRP has done in the past. So extra 500, not even 5 million or 50 million, $500 million extra.
Okay, for me though, yeah, for me though, I don't think this is the best time to chase large caps. We're rounding up anywhere from now, by the way. I don't think this is the best time to chase large caps, because right now is like the best time to chase high reward. So let's say somebody's going to invest in SRP right now. What's the best that can happen? Probably $3, which will take it to almost $200 billion market cap. Now, long term, SRP can get to 500 billion, no doubt. Ethereum can get to 1 trillion, no doubt. BNB can get to 400 billion, no doubt, obviously. But that's some long term time frame. If you look at Solana, it has been struggling despite all of the stats, positive stats, beating all the records for the most part of this year, coming up as the best and most sustainable blockchain in terms of traction, throughput, finality, and all of those stuffs. Yet Solana struggled to get to even $300. Despite that, it's because of the fact that they are emitting more tokens, and most importantly, it's not easy for large cap projects to easily pump like that, especially when you have people that are selling. BNB was able to manage that because of buybacks, burning, and most persons are holders. Okay, so
well, the thing here is
a different thing entirely.
It depends on the investor, right? Because there are people that they have large money. They want where they will put their money and get, even if they get 20% in 3 months, they are okay with it because it's good amount of money. There are people that prioritizes peace of mind, right, over
Yeah.
large swing. So for those people seeing XRP at maybe $2 or $1.8, they are happy because they know that okay, this thing might would not go lower than this. All right.
Yeah, but those
Or
are
I
the
can
long-term
get
investors. Those are like the
yeah, yeah,
long-term
yeah, yeah.
investors. Yeah.
Yeah,
And those are
um,
people, those are also people that are investing like $10 million, $30 million,
well,
because you also want an asset that can be able to have that exit liquidity. You can't go and be
right.
using $10 million or $5 million to invest in Ori. You can't do that. Like it
No, no,
doesn't even make
you're
sense.
going to be the one to
You
pump
can't
the
even
market.
Yeah, you can't even use $1 million to go and invest in. All right. So if somebody is going into those projects, it's based on your capital too. So I can understand somebody saying, okay, I want to buy SRP with $10 million, but still, instead of me to go and buy SRP with 10 M dollars, I will buy Litecoin with $10 million. There's nothing in this world that will make me go and buy SRP at that valuation, even if there is a billion. You understand? With $10 million, like I will not do it. If I'm looking for that
But
peace of
the
mind,
thing,
I'll buy
mhm.
LTC or some other assets there. Maybe even near. You get? I would even
Well,
buy
well,
near. I'll
the
pick near
thing, the thing is,
SRP.
they are proactive. Like you know, they are working. Their investors are coming in, as opposed to let's say Litecoin, right? There is like active development that is happening on XRP. Because if you now check, okay, who is investing in XRP, and you find out that these are like large venture capitalists or trade files, you know, banks, insurance, and all. So you know that XRP infrastructure is going to be used. So the question now is, would it rub off on the token price you get? So that's it. Raising 500 million is crazy to show you that people have interest in XRP infrastructure.
But
But
there's
what
another
we
project that raised
notice,
crazy money too that hasn't really pumped. That reminds me. There's another
which
project
one
that
is
we are
that?
holding that raised crazy money, I think last month, either September or October. NMR
MMR.
raised, yeah, I think they raised some good amount of money. I think so, but they haven't really pumped. They haven't really pumped. So if you also look at the charts, realistically, NMR is supposed to be pumping towards $20 and get to as high as maybe $40. It hasn't moved yet, and they've been actively building. Yeah, they've been building. And I think they just pushed an update for their AI infrastructure. Was it last week or early this week? Either last week or early this week. But yeah, NMR is also on that project that we're holding that you might want to look into. We're recommending that. Now, SVG, we are supposed to have rounded should be rounding up. Now, Verge is another project that we called Privacy 2 days ago, and it's still almost around the same price, just slightly up a bit. It hasn't moved. It's also an OG privacy project as old as Zcash. Now, I'm still expecting some FOMO and rotation, most likely from those that will take profit from Zcash to pump this XMR. They've pumped Dash. Dash is consolidating right now. Dash should still make another leg up. But if you look at this SMR, all it needs is a breakout. Once it breaks out, it will most likely be targeting this price, which is almost 500% from its current price. So all of these things are possible. These projects are still projects we are holding. And if you also look at their overall performance this year, it's not so much. So we urge those watching, you might want to have a look at this project. There's a whole lot we would love to share, but sincerely, time. Now, for our previous projects, there are some previous projects that we have shared. I thought my screen was showing, just to show the SMR briefly. The This NMR I was talking about, just to show Verge. I thought my screen was showing, but it wasn't. So briefly, so this is Verge. For those that might be wondering, this is Verge. So you might want to have a look at it. You can see the chart that's flattened out already. It just needs a breakout, and the pump will be synonymous to that of Zcash. Maybe not that brutal, but at least a decent 200 to 300% is possible. You can see the performance this year. So same thing too with Dusk. If you look at Dusk too, you find out that Dusk just managed to break out after years of downtrends and consolidation that has been happening, just managed to break out, and it's gradually moving, like gradually moving. So it's still very possible for Dusk to do that insane pump to like 20 cents, which is what I'm expecting. At least 20 cents is possible. That would be almost 500% from my entry, because my entry was around 0.044 thereabouts. So if it gets to 20 cents, that would be good. Now, in terms of some other coins we shared this week, almost all have been very profitable. Almost all, from Zora to Dash to Dusk to Zcash. So many have done very well. But we'll do like a compilation and we'll share that because of time. So, Spetsna, I don't know if you have something else to share before we round up, because for my end, it's time up already.
Well, there is not much to just quickly look at the question. So for Kennedy, AO token, we talked about it earlier in our conversation today. So you could just quickly replay the beginning of the conversation. Then for LFG, I think I've not checked, but LFG was supposed to launch earlier this month, but
No, it's on the 10th,
uh,
10th of November.
10th.
It's launching on
Okay,
the 10th of November. Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
So
When is 10th?
I
10th
should
should be,
be.
10th should
We
be
are looking
Monday.
out for it. Yeah, I thought it
10th
was
should be
4th.
Monday.
Yeah,
No, it's
so
10th.
we are looking out for it. Let's see how it is. I will not be looking to buy because I already have allocation. So I'll just see how successful it is. But the market we are seeing now is a little bit choppy. But let's see what Tent has to offer. So then for Jerry, can we close on Dusk? Dusk is almost 2x up from where we called it. So at this point, you should have at least taken out your capital. Then the rest that you leave there, I like to call it free money. If it continues to pump, good. If it dumps, you can just cut the profit and take it. So it just depends on you. So that's just it from me today. So
Someone
we'll
is
see
asking about
again.
someone is asking about Million. Yeah, so Million, what made me know about Million is airdrop farmers. It was all over the timeline. Now I'm usually very skeptical about new projects, and it's my advice to anyone trading or buying. You can farm them after airdrop, take your profits, maybe leave a moon bag. But I'm extremely skeptical when it comes to purchasing those fresh projects. The reason is they've not stood the test of time. Another reason is because of vesting, they'll be emitting more tokens. So investors would likely want to take profits, so they'll gradually start dumping. Another thing is most times they are usually overvalued, especially when they launch in a bull market. So it only makes sense that they'll gradually start dumping over time, gradually. Then another thing there is based on historical data. If you check most projects that launch in the year of a bull run, it's followed by constant steady dumps because of profit taking or the tech failing or any of those things. In fact, if you even use AO, for example, that's actually a solid project. If you look at AO charts, you'll find out that despite the fact that AO did not do any crazy airdrop, it was just people farming the token. You can see it's been dumping since then, since I think it got to almost $50 or thereabout. Pre-sale was around 20 something to $30. Pre-market, rather not pre-sale, pre-market. Pre-market price was around that. And when it listed, it got to almost 40, 50. But since then, the same AO now is $6. You understand? So that should give you an insight on buying most of these newer projects rather than buying a new project that its chart does not have so much data that you can work with, and maybe you're not so informed on token emission and also the volumes that the quantity that investors are holding. It's best you look for an older privacy project and jump into it, which is one of the reasons why we got into Dusk. Dusk was almost $1 2021. It was one of those major hyped projects, even on Binance, as privacy and all, making waves and all. But look at Dusk today. Dusk dumped below 10 cents. Like it dumped to as low as 2 cents or 2.8 cents or thereabouts. But now it's gradually trying to come up. So you should try and learn from some of these things. That's why I'm not touching Million. I'm actually not touching Million. It might perform so well, but I'm not touching it. WikiCat is a project that stood the test of time. Personally, I just swing it. I tend to swing it. You can have a moon bag long term. You get that is still fantastic. Most of the OGs are out in good profits. The moon bag that they are holding, most of them are not really thinking of selling it because they're already in some very, very crazy profits. So if you're accumulating below 60M, it's not bad. Most times, if you notice, it tends to do a 20 to 30% pump. So it's good for swing. But if you're buying to see 5x or 10x, then you're in for a very, very, very long ride. Not that it's not possible, but it's going to be a long ride, actually. Yeah, so that's all we're taking for today. And once again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to share the video. We do this every day, Mondays to Friday. We don't do this Saturdays and Sundays. We did Mondays to Friday, 10 a.m. in the morning. Ideally, it's for 20 minutes, but today we've spent about 36 minutes, not planned. But yeah, so feel free to invite anyone you want to invite. Join, ask questions, and very soon we'll start inviting other speakers to share their thoughts and ideas in different aspects and areas of crypto, and also how people can make money. Also in crypto jobs, we'll also invite some speakers that will be able to share insights, ideas, and also opportunities. So thanks, guys. If you're watching from Twitter, don't forget to follow. If you're watching from YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And we'll be having our Twitter Spaces later this evening by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and Clubhouse on Sunday by 4 p.m. Thanks and have a lovely day, guys. Bye-bye.